Now, by now, you're looking at your notes and going, wow, in my notes, there is no gradient. So don't forget all the calculations that occur to make these black and white. Okay? So once you start plugging in the other calculations, then you're going to start seeing these turn white and black. Okay, now we need a clamp. Clamp goes up here. We need a set range. I need 2 of those. And just to keep things organized, what I want to do here is set my range for the top one to be near. So near range. And far range. Oops. This one's supposed to be near. That's fine. There we go. Near range 1, far range. Which I'm going to just kind of drag this one up there so it's near and far. Okay, so what this does, middle mouse button, click and drag, go to the other. And what I need this one to be is output B to UV coordinate V. Okay, so it's going to look for the black in it and then take that black and do its magic with the vector coordinate here. Close that out. So as you can see, ta-da, it sees black, there it goes, black. Okay, next, let's go back down here. And I kind of work back and forth tit for tat until I get all this connected. So other, this is out value Z to V coordinate. There we go. Next one up here, other. I need out value to input. So in this case, I'm not using the X, Y, Z. I'm just plugging it in raw. So it gets all the color values. Alright, now you see, now the surface shader is completely white, no longer black and white. And I could probably go up here to the top now and go edit, select all, and then right click here to assign material to selection. And that should make everything in the scene turn white. And that's fine. That's exactly what I want right now. Okay, so much other things need to occur before it changes. Now let's kind of tidy things up. On my clamp, what I need to do is set this value right here, the Z value, to 1. And I want on my near range, I need its max value to be 1. And the far range, its max value to be 1. A lot of calculations in Z here. So now I got a max value is 1 in Z. Okay. Next, what I need to do is get some adding and subtracting going on. Okay. So let's kind of work the other half of the shader here, the stuff that goes over on this part, and then we'll start plugging the mid-ground in. So this is the stuff that just makes you want to pull out your eyes. Okay, so outliner. And now follow very closely, because if you don't get a shape node instead, it won't work. Okay, so here's my shape node. Here's my locator, the floor locator that's misspelled F-L-O-O-R-E or R. So here's my scale node. That's the important one right there. Middle mouse button, click and drag that out. And then what I need to do is grab, it's so much easier to do this if I grab my distant dimension 1 and take its distant shape node out here. Look what happens. Well, it automatically brings along with it my locators. So that just saves me a step right there. Okay, so if you're just following along with the note, you're probably pulling out your skin trying to figure that one out too. All right, and the last one is a sampler info. So the sampler info looks like this, the little ball with the eye. And then it becomes a total different icon altogether once you actually put it in there. Trying to keep this as big as I can so you guys can see all this stuff. Okay. All right, I need to multiply some stuff. So I'm going to set some multiply nodes out here. So multiply nodes work like this. You know, it takes an actual input number here, and it can multiply it across, you know, input 2 if need to. And you can choose either to multiply, divide, or power. That's what's nice about it. So I'm taking a number and times it by 1 in this case. Okay. Now the top node, what I want to do is middle mouse button, click and drag it over to default. And I always kind of go into default because that way I can make sure that it's being plugged into the right thing. Sometimes if you just plug along middle mouse button, click and drag to shape node, it's not as effective. So I want to do this to scale of Z. So right now the scale of Z of this node is 88. Okay, that's the drop-off value for the gradient. And this one gets stuck to input 1Z. And now you can see 2.933 is plugged into it. Now, 2.1933, if I go to the scale node, and then I go here, it shows a scale of 2.933, but in the channel box, it shows the same. Okay, but let's see what the calculations are, because I'm pretty sure I tapped in 88. So this is going to be probably changing later on. What I need that to be is 88. And it's going to make it super big on the screen. There we go. So now this huge square is appearing. That square is so not important, it hurts. So what I want to do, I'm just using the scale off of it. What I really want to do is take it and make it so it doesn't show up in render. So to do that, I go into the attribute editor, page down on the node, and go into render stats and just turn off all this stuff except for double. So now I'm not using that as an actual mesh. I'm using it as a scale factor for the division or the times right here. Okay, so now I got 88 times 1. Alright, stop the video and go on to the next step.